The Prime Minister and Finance Minister and Senior Minister Lee Hsien Loong had set the stage by providing numerous assurances that cost of living concerns would be addressed. The concerns on the ground about cost of living are known to all in this House. We started the first budget of this government's term in 2021 with disbursement of CDC vouchers worth $100. Today, the vouchers are at $800. Cost increases have hurt people from across all segments of society. Beyond the $800 CDC vouchers and $800 SG60 vouchers, more than a few political watchers noticed PAP MPs thumping their armrests in unison when the Finance Minister announced that climate vouchers worth $400 were being extended to private household dwellers too, a relatively small and generally more well-off segment comprising of about 15% of our population. Reflecting on the cost of living crisis, this enthusiastic gesture was both telling and ironic. The Finance Minister dished out the broad statistics for 2024 in his speech. 4.4% growth, inflation continuing to ease, wage increases outpacing inflation, median income of resident workers rising 3.4% above inflation, and income inequality being at its lowest since the year 2000. But for many, the lived reality of Singaporeans over the last 12-odd months does not correspond with the bright summary revealed by these figures. Life is very tough for the Singapore that is in the heartland. Concerns over jobs, prices, housing costs, and opportunities continue for many Singaporeans and their households. The numerous vouchers will give us help for a little while, but not for long. After all, no GST offset package lasts forever. The fiscal situation appears healthy, notwithstanding the absence of financial medium-term projections which other jurisdictions publish. This naturally has led many to question the necessity of raising the GST. The WP raised this matter on numerous occasions in this House, even participating actively to consider alternative levers of revenue in the budget debate of 2023. Even as imported inflation contributes to price rises locally, there was no need for the PAP government to add fuel to the fire and fan the flames of inflation further with a GST hike. Even if a decision was made to raise it in 2023, there was ample policy space to delay the second increase in 2024 when the country was in the thick of inflation. Why the PAP went headlong and headstrong into raising GST and thereby turbocharging inflation further is something only the PAP itself can answer to Singaporeans for. As every Singaporean knows, a 1% rise in GST does not lead to a 1% rise in the cost of a cup of coffee. Increases are incremental, as we have experienced in how purchases from the local shop or weekly supermarket trip have cost a good 30 to 40% more for Singaporeans since the GST was hiked in an inflationary environment never seen before in decades. The decision to go ahead with the GST hike with inflation raging was poor. We have seen assurance packages and CDC vouchers dished out to cushion the GST blow for many Singaporeans. But when these handouts stop, as they eventually will, the 9% GST will remain until any subsequent increase the PAP government sees fit to impose. It would not be out of place to ask then, how many Singaporeans would believe the accuracy of a PAP government's projections about the need or the immediate need for future expenditures? Mr. Speaker, the Workers' Party supports the budget.